Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be?
The WNBA is completely going insane. On the most recent comedy show, Angel Reese announced that she would depose Caitlin Clark as if the living legend would be overthrown by someone who has been preoccupied with pretending to be hurt and crying over on-screen drama. Oh, and don't forget about her complaining about her pay being below par. Angel's has been officially diluted.
Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the basketball floor. Plain and simple.
It's genuinely absurd. How does she believe she has what it takes to outperform Clark, the player who makes history every season? Reese has only mastered making fun of herself, but who knows? Maybe she's winning awards for being pathetic. Before Reese talks about taking over the WNBA, she might want to check her reputation first. Shifting coaches won't make her the highlight. She needs to change her attitude first.
Look, Angel Reese, there's nothing that she does where you go, did you see her?
Angel Reese seems to believe that working with David Alexander, LeBron James's trainer, will make her the next big thing in women's basketball. Yes, it seems like working with one of the best trainers in the world will make her superhuman and ready to dethrone Caitlin Clark. However, while Reese is out there doing whatever it is that involves perfecting her general movement patterns, Caitlin Clark is busy actually improving her shooting and playmaking. You know what matters when you're trying to be the best player on the court. So good luck. Angel Clark is honing the skills that have already left you in the dust while you're working on whatever it is. Reese may have had a good time at LSU, but assuming she's on par with Clark is like saying you're going to release a new album after 5 minutes of singing in the shower. That's not competitive, it's delusional. Although Clark is the queen of basketball overall, Reese may have been the queen of LSU. While Caitlin is already out there reinventing the entire game, Reese is out there boasting about surpassing Clark. However, please tell me more about how you plan to dethrone a legend before you've even begun practicing in the professionals.
Camille, this is the most we've ever lost in our life. I only lost 7 games in my last 2 years at LSU. So it's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
Now, let's go back to the 2023 NCAA championship. You recall it correctly? Reese was trying desperately to steal Clark's glory with that childish taunt, flipping the "you can't see me" gesture right back in Clark's face. Oh, that was a moment, all right, but for all the wrong reasons. While Reese was occupied with her hand gesture while playing WWE, Clark was out there, effortlessly outscoring everyone, including Reese. While Clark was too busy creating history, Reese's major move was a pathetic attempt to make herself important by attempting to take center stage for a brief, 5-second moment. There isn't a single person in WNBA history like Caitlin Clark, and speaking of statistics, how about Reese's WNBA debut? Let's just say it wasn't anything to brag about. Reese was just playing for attention. In case anyone missed it, Clark leads all rookies in the WNBA with an average of 19.2 points per game and assists with 8.4 points per game. What was Reese doing? She was still learning how to get a consistent shot off, but she did her best right now. Let's move on to the Rookie of the Year award, which Clark took with ease. It wasn't even close, and Reese just got to be a finalist, which sounds like a participation trophy at this point. Clark didn't just win. She entered the league and made it clear that she was prepared to dominate, and now she's out here trying to catch up.
There is no one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
But wait, things will get better. The circus has taken over Reese's off-court life. She signed a shoe deal with Reebok, which is incredible for someone who hasn't even demonstrated that she can perform at the highest level on a regular basis. Let's celebrate that while Clark is out and changing the game with every move she makes. Reese, on the other hand, is busy posting about her lifestyle on Instagram, which is cute and all, but if you think that will help you beat Clark, then good luck. If I were you, though, I would start concentrating on basketball rather than the amount of likes you're receiving on your posts. But let's talk about money, because Reese loves to talk about it. She's out here highlighting her WNBA salary of $73,439 and talking about how expensive life is. Reese, honey, you're not exactly living in a mansion in Beverly Hills, and perhaps it's time to start budgeting better. In the meantime, Clark is managing her business with an eye toward the game and is obviously not concerned with the price of a Starbucks latte. Let's now discuss this unmatched league, which Reese hopes will be her big break. This 3x3 league, which will feature 34 of the best players in the world, is scheduled to begin play in January 2025. It's a huge deal, with all these elite athletes coming together and Reese looking like she's walking into a lion's den. I understand that she will make $250,000 for the 8-week season, which is a significant increase from her meager $81,000 WNBA salary. But the problem is that she will be competing against players who are completely different from her. It's not just about the money or the headlines. It's about performance. And right now this is where things get even more interesting, since Reese's performance doesn't say, "I'm ready for this competition," but rather, "I need a lot of work." Reese will face a harsh wake-up call if she believes that showing up and having a good time will make her the next big thing. Critics are already calling this an overestimation, and to be honest, they may have a point. Yeah, Reese, you may have your sights set on the spotlight, but when it comes time to play, the spotlight will be on those who can actually bring it. Reese isn't anywhere close to the caliber of players who have previously proven themselves at that level, so even while she might get publicity, she could also get exposed, since there's no hiding when you're up against the best. This league is going to be thrilling and full of top-tier talent, and this league might reveal how much behind Reese is from Clark and perhaps even show how far she still has to go before she is on the same playing field if she doesn't improve.
But they still ask you about Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
What is your stance on that?
So my whole thing was like, when I got drafted, number 7. So I'm like, cool. Like, the pressure is not even on me because I'm drafted 7, so the pressure shouldn't be up there. So I'm like, all right, cool. I can just hoop. So I don't know when like it started to just break out where I was just in Rookie of the Year conversations. I'm like, all right, cool.
It's because you started killing it.
Well, yeah.
And this is a reality check. When it comes to professional basketball, if you want to challenge the greatest, you better have the skill to support it right now. Reese can talk all she wants about outperforming Clark, but in the end, that's just cheap talk that won't get you anywhere. Reese's mouth is doing more work than her game. She's got all these bold claims, but the problem is she doesn't have the skills to turn them into reality. Clark has already proven she's the real deal, and Reese is still stuck in the "I'll get there someday" phase. And let's not ignore the fact that while Reese is training with one of the best in the business, Clark is still out there grinding away, putting in the work that counts. You can't buy your way into being the best. You can't just train with a top trainer and expect to suddenly be able to take down a legend. It takes years of dedication, consistent effort, and most importantly, talent. While Reese is busy getting coached up on her general movement patterns, Clark is making history every time she steps on the court. So when Reese says she's going to dethrone Clark, well, let's just say the only thing she's going to be dethroning as herself from reality. This unrivaled league, yeah. It's a great opportunity for Reese to get some exposure. But let's be real, it could also be the place where the gap between her and Clark becomes even more painfully obvious. Talking about taking over is simple when no one is truly challenging you, but when you face real elite competition, things get difficult. At this point, Ari is still far below Clark's level. If she doesn't improve and quit acting like she's already there, she will become a footnote in Clark's journey rather than the one to dethrone her.